Hi muckers and welcome to the new Chronically Online podcast. Before we get in, I have a really exciting announcement, which is I am going on tour in February, and if there are any muckers in Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, LA, Dallas, I will be there in February. It is also called the Chronically Online Tour. I'm so excited. It is going to be the most deranged night of your entire life. Tickets are available down below. I will see you all hopefully in February. Again, that is Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, LA, and Dallas. I hope you enjoy the podcast. And again, they both have same names, Chronically Online Podcast and the Chronically Online Tour. I'm super excited. So hopefully see you in February. Tickets are available down below. Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to the Chronically Online Podcast. And I'm super excited for today because we have the one and only Rachel Levin here with me. Now, first of all, I normally like to do a little bit of an introduction and kind of open up with like where you're from. And don't worry, we're going to get to that. But I just need to talk about the fact that I pulled up to the studio in my little Uber, and I see you standing outside the studio in crutches and a bedazzled, what would I even call this, like leg brace?
It's a boot.
But like, first of all, and I immediately am like, holy hell, what has happened? And I just need you to tell me what has happened here because this is goddamn crazy.
Okay, so unfortunately, this was all on camera that it took place. But I jumped up and down one singular time and landed on my ankle.
Was it like a TikTok transition then?
Yeah, so like I was trying to show my outfit of the week. And mind you, the worst outfit is the one it broke on. So like...
Typical, babe, typical.
Naturally. So I jumped. Actually, I jumped twice. I jumped once and I was like, this isn't good enough. And then I jumped twice and then landed on the ankle. But it was a good transition. Like, if you want to put that on the screen, it was a quality transition. It just didn't end well.
Babe, there's something so LA about, like, how did you, first of all, having the bedazzled, number one, but then number two, how'd you do it? I was filming a TikTok transition.
Do you want to know the worst part? Is when I got to the hospital, they looked at me up and down and said, were you filming a TikTok?
No.
I was like, oh my God, this is so stereotypical because I probably looked like someone that was filming a TikTok.
You were in the process of filming the final transition at the hospital?
No, the worst part was the doctor was like, what were you doing? I was like, I was like filming an outfit of the week. He was like, oh, like this outfit or...
Oh my God. Like, oh, that is brutal. Wait, what age is the doctor? Not that it matters in this, but I feel like getting read
probably
by
like
someone...
millennial.
Oh God, that is brutal. Wait, so how long have you been like this?
I have had the boot for like maybe a week and a half.
Have you bedazzled it yourself?
I did.
I was about to say, it would not shock me if there was something in LA that was dedicated to doing that to people who have been injured.
No. I mean, you know what? No, there probably is, to be honest. I am a DIY girly pop. So I bedazzled my boot. I bedazzled my crutches.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, I said this off camera to you, and I want to also say it on camera because I feel that it needs to be like highlighted.
Okay, let's hear it.
I cannot thank Rachel enough for how easy you have been to communicate with. Now, obviously, there have been a lot of people that I have kind of interacted with over the years, and some of them have been really helpful. Some of them have been really great. And I'm going to be honest, like you experience quite often a lot of very difficult people. And I had messaged you really randomly, and I didn't honestly think you were going to get back to me. Now, not only did you get back to me, but I have to ask, did you get a notification that I messaged you? Because it was like within 5 minutes and I went, wow, this was amazing. Did you get a notification of it?
No, I'm just addicted to my phone.
Chronically Online, like me,
well,
sister.
You never know. Like sometimes a brand will message you being like, we'd like to send you free stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I've never had a brand do that to me. I'm going to be
no,
honest.
You know what? I bet you have. If you pass me your phone and go to like top.
Oh yeah, in the message request.
It. Yeah.
I feel like the brands that would be sending me things versus sending you things though would be completely different. And I wonder as well, because I mean, I may as well go in with my first little topic here because I feel like growing up in like Ireland and the UK, like there's brands will very much so center towards like America. Oh. So you grew up in...
Philadelphia.
Which, first of all, I've been once. And I went for a Mariah Carey concert.
Okay, I was like, why are you in Philadelphia?
But everyone told me that I wasn't going to enjoy Philadelphia. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get the Philly cheesesteak, which I was heartbroken.
I've never had one.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better.
You're good.
They look so gross, but in like a delicious kind of way. And I was there for 24 hours. I went to the Mariah Carey concert. So many people, like this is no shade because I don't want to be saying this to someone who's literally from there, but so many people were like, you're going to hate it. And I don't know if it was literally just to do with like people associate me with just going to like New York or LA. I loved Philadelphia, and the people were so lovely. And we went during Christmas time, and it was all decorated in like the town center, and I really loved it. So what was it like growing up there, and when did you move to LA?
Growing up in Philly was great. I don't know what it's like to grow up anywhere else, so I can't really necessarily compare. But like, love a good Philly, love a good LA. I will say the only difference that was like jolting almost when I moved to LA versus Philly is like in Philly, you smile at everybody, they smile back. In LA, like there's like a 50-50 shot. You smile at somebody, sometimes they'll smile back. Like honestly, I'm used to people smiling back and I never stop smiling at people. But then like half the time they'll like, instead of smiling, look at you like up and down and go, And I'm like, what did I do to you? But
Have
then I'm
you
like,
been to London before?
I have been to London for like a weekend.
Okay. Have you experienced that in London? Because Londoners do not like to smile back.
Interesting.
Is my opinion on that. So you would say that Philly is very much so like the friendliness, and then LA was different?
Yeah, but I'm also like, maybe it depends on where you were in LA. Like maybe people are just very busy. I like to like assume not the worst. So I'm like, okay, maybe they were just kind of like, they had places to be, and my smile was taking up far too much time on their end.
So in terms of Philadelphia, like obviously LA is so cute. What age did you move to LA?
23.
You were 23?
Wait, I don't know. Wait.
You were in your early 20s, right?
I'm gonna be real. I don't remember how old I am right now. One moment. Like after
I'm pulling up the
27
Wikipedia as we speak, babe.
No, please do. After 27, it's all the same.
Well, actually, at the time that we're filming this, I think it should be, I'm looking at the clock. Yeah, it has just hit my birthday back home.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I am just 22.
Whoa.
22 now. So let me tell you something. After 22, babe, I'm not counting either. I'm not counting either after 22. But how big versus small did Philly feel to you? Because I grew up very small, and it feels small. So did you ever pick up on that?
No, it felt big, but I feel like we need to take a step back. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Diva.
Do you have a cake? Can I Uber eat you a cake later?
Well, I'm here with my friends, and I'm gonna assume that they have a little surprise up their street, but I wouldn't put it past them to like maybe forget as well.
Yeah, I think maybe like just for no reason whatsoever at all. Obviously, if you want to just like message me the address, like for no reason, just to say, just.
How many people are were in your like direct community in Philly? Like not exact number, because babe, if you asked me that about Derry, I would not know as well. But you're saying that it felt quite big.
Philly's big. Like,
okay.
It's like a mini New York.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I was in the suburbs outside of Philadelphia, but my dad lived in Philly. So like obviously every weekend I would go to Philly, but like pretty big place. Like you're going to see a lot of people when you're walking. I can't Google. No, I can. No, do you want me to? I can look it up.
Your age?
No, I know my age.
Oh, I thought you were actually being serious
How
about
many
that.
people were in Philly?
I thought you were actually, I'm just going to assume that there were a lot of people. I thought you were genuinely being like, I need to Google my age.
No, I know my age.
Okay, we'll just keep it on
Wait,
the
what
down
was
low.
that about? I feel like I'm remembering. Why did I even mention my age? What was that from? Oh, how long?
We were talking about how long,
2018.
yeah.
I have very bad ADHD. I'm so sorry.
We love it, though.
2018 is when I moved to LA.
Okay. And you were doing YouTube since, was it 15? It was 15?
Since I was 15, yeah.
So how did that come into play, filming YouTube during that era when you're not only 15, but from like a big-ish place? You know what I mean? Like, were other people around you doing it? Because I feel like, first of all, I went back and looked at your old videos, and they were so sweet.
They're so cute.
They were so, were you filming them on like I assume like a laptop or something like that?
Yeah, it was.
It was so endearing to watch these videos. And obviously, like if someone was to go back and like watch my old content, I would be like, please don't bring it up to me. But they were so sweet and so goddamn wholesome. And it was just kind of like, I guess my question is like, what gravitated you towards the platform at that time? Because it really was during the first wave of this kind of content, specifically to do with the beauty community. So like, what was shouting out to you at 15 years old about that?
Okay, first I counted my age and I was 23 when I moved to LA.
I was wondering, I look over and you're doing this and I was like, I know you said ADHD. I was like, do you want me to put like a Subway Surfers video in front of you when we're talking right now?
It might help, but no. I'm. It's not that bad. It's medium. It's like medium. No.
If so, I can put a little Subway. I can like play.
I'll keep you updated because I do love those videos. But I started making YouTube videos because I went from a private school to a public school, right? And I didn't actually know anybody because the friend groups were all kind of established, right? Like in middle school. So didn't have any friends. Tried to join every sports team. got kicked off, which was weird because it was one of those schools where like they have to accept you on the sports team. Like they are
damn, babe, they weren't even accepting you into like mandatory classes.
They kicked me out of all the teams. Yeah, I was very bad at sports. But so I couldn't join any activities, couldn't join any sports, didn't know anybody, was too shy to like talk to people. So I'd watch YouTube videos. And yeah, I watched like a lot, actually, like an excessive amount of YouTube videos to the point where like every morning in the mirror, I'd be like, so now I'm going to apply this eyeshadow to my outer V. And I was like, I need this Coastal Scents 88 palette to be able to do my eyeshadow. And then it got to the point where I was doing it so often and so much in the mirror that I was like, I'm just going to make a YouTube video, like for fun, you know, like I didn't think anything of it. Make a YouTube video, post it, didn't think anything of it again. And then like, I think a couple days later, it had 457 views. And I like ran to my mom and I was like, Mom, my video has 457 views. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, what video?
Yeah.
And luckily she's not strict. So she didn't make me stop posting on YouTube.
And so I'm sure she's grateful for that night.
Yeah. I mean, she's big on the whole, like, you fail, I'll be there to pick you up in the background, but like you go mess up on your own. Like that's all you. If you want to embarrass yourself on the internet, go do it, you know? But yeah, so I made YouTube videos. And then at a certain point, my school found out about the YouTube videos, but I didn't have any friends and I already had bullies. So it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, of course.
Oh shit.
First of all, you're speaking to me, babe. And I know a lot of people like will have on who don't swear and stuff. Wow, I really do be pushing the YouTube terms of service when it comes to swearing sometimes. So babe,
does YouTube care about swearing?
You would be surprised. Like they have a tier list is what I've heard. And I know that like shit and bitch are apparently at the bottom, but unfortunately my favorite word that unfortunately I cannot say is the top word, and you know exactly what it is. And they really don't like fuck as well. And I have learned that I think you can say it every certain amount of seconds or something, and I'm like,
is
oh
that
please.
Real? That sounds like those things when like back in the day people on YouTube would be like, you can play a song as long as it's for under 30 seconds, and then all my videos got copyrighted. 400 videos get copyrighted and I'm like, I'm getting out of here. This is too much.
Well, the thing is as well about you getting 400 views back then, that was during the time period. Do you remember when it was like 301 views and your video would stop at it?
Yeah, I do.
I remember that it was such a big deal for creators to get past, which is so funny because it sounds so weird now, but like it was a big deal for creators to get past the 301 views, because once a creator hit that, YouTube would pause the views for a bit and it would say like 301 plus or something until you got like another couple hundred, and then it would update. So what were you filming them on?
I was filming on my MacBook. My school gave every student a MacBook. So yeah, I was using that.
What creators were you watching at that time? Like what, because you always, to go into beauty, obviously I assume that was like an interest at that time, but you were also watching creators, as was I as well, a child of the internet. What creators, like off the top of your head, were you immediately kind of drawn to? And were they all in beauty, or was that just kind of a specific interest?
So all of the YouTubers that I was watching quit, but there was one that was ex Mickey Glam Doll. I was obsessed with her. When I tell you, like I ended up messaging her later and she responded back and I was like, oh my God.
That was literally me with you. That was me with you.
That's so cute. There was Lex and Sid.
You're seeing the nichest creators right now that they're even going over my head.
Well, they all quit at around like 20,000 subscribers, right?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, but that was like an insane amount of subscribers back then. Like 20,000 subscribers was like top tier.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, this is like a famous person.
Because the 100K plaque that YouTube would give when you hit 100K subscribers was a really, really, really big deal, specifically that first one. And I know it's changed now, and I assume your 100K plaque and my one and the ones now, even though I only got mine in the last couple of years, will look significantly different because they have to give them out like fucking crazy because of YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts has completely taken over, and people are gaining subscribers at like an unprecedented amount. So I think eventually they're going to do away with the plaque system because there are too many, like maybe just cap it at like 1 million or something. But I just
think about it though. Great marketing for YouTube. Like if people have their plaque and they're posting on other platforms, which by the way, my plaque, like I don't even have it. My ex has my 100,000 subscriber plaque.
Why?
I think he has my 1 million subscriber plaque too.
Why would he have that?
Because I was dating him at the time and we had an apartment, but like it was there. And then like, you know, when you break up, like I was like, I'm out. like, I am out. I'm not seeing you ever again after this, you know?
Well, how is dating like when you are at your level?
I don't date.
Fair.
I have no interest in dating. I mean, I eventually probably will again, but I will say, like, as much as I love everybody watching, they're not over my exes, like, and I am.
Ooh, okay.
You know, like, I still get messages that are like, I miss you and Isaac. I'm like, really? We literally don't miss each other. Like, we haven't spoken in like 8 years. Like,
well, honestly, I'm probably the worst person to add an opinion on because, again, as a child of the internet, I was a part of that, like, one true pairing era in terms of, like, fan edits and, like, I love these people. And it really was, like, a wake-up call when I started dating myself and being like, wow, with the bad situations I've gone through, if people, like, were giving opinions on that as well, and, like, how does that feel in the moment? Like when everything's going great in a relationship with whatever person it is, how does it feel even in the moment to have people like either speculating or literally just like being so excited about it? Because obviously it has an impact on the relationship.
Honestly, I never was negatively affected by that. I mean, there was obviously moments where I think there were some boundaries that were crossed a little bit. Like in the sense of like when I was breaking up with my ex, like somebody knocked on the car window and was like, Rachel, oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, one second. I'm gonna get it back on top. I'm like, hello. Just like with a photo. I'm like, yeah, sorry, man. Can you just chill for like one moment? I'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
I mean, I feel like that's actually kind of funny though. No, you know what? I'm happy that happened. That's a better memory than my ex himself. But, yeah.
Shout out to the viewers.
Shout out to the viewer. No, I mean, the only thing that I feel bad about is like, I feel like so many young people, like young children attach their view on love to how I was with my exes.
Yeah.
I don't know if the first ex at least.
Okay.
And I felt bad telling people that we broke up because it like shattered their view on love. And I'm like, listen, like it was great for a second, you know, like, so I actually ended up waiting 6 months before even telling people that we broke up.
Damn, dude.
I wasn't actually even going to tell people. My ex got mad at me randomly, like after we like randomly switched to no talking terms, my bad. And he like posts about it, like being like, yeah, actually don't remember what he said. Irrelevant. But like, I was like, damn, now I got to come up with a post. I was like talking to my friend. I was like, okay, what do I say? I was like, should I be like, we still love each other? She was like, but you don't. And I was like, you're right.
She kind of clocked you actually on that one.
She's like, don't say that. I was like, okay, let me just say like that I need to inform. I don't even remember what I said. I put so little thought into it. I was just kind of like, ugh.
But it's especially like 6 months after as well. Yeah. Like you're a tripper for that, by the way. I mean, give me 5 minutes after anything has ever ended romantically in my life, and every single it's a problem for all my friends. Like they know everything.
My friends knew.
But even like, okay, this is me saying, and I don't have a community of people that have an opinion on the relationship. I would be on an Instagram live stream breaking down, being like, I hate this person. Like you guys don't whatever. But I think what you said about like people really making it like their relationship in a sense as well is really interesting because again, it's interesting. You're saying this from the creator point of view. I feel like I've been in the fan point of view of that. And it's interesting because I think the reason that I really finally clicked out of it was when I grew up, I realized that like relationships in general are very dynamic. And when you are a child watching your favorite creator, you're so excited for them. And a lot of, creators as well really hone in on how much the audience love the relationship. And then ultimately that can be a big thing that kind of like comes back and like bites you in the ass. And it's like, shit, now everyone's really invested in it. But would you, if moving forward with a partner, would you wait a period of time, or are you kind of like, what's going to happen is going to happen? You know what I mean?
I think what I would probably do to start, if I do have another partner in the future, is let everybody know, like, hey, just as a heads up, I have a partner. Not necessarily show them for a while.
Okay, perfect.
Not because I'm like worried about people like messaging them or anything like that. Just in the sense of like, let me figure out if I like them before you decide if you like them, you know?
I think there's something really interesting about being like a lifestyle and we're going to talk about the fact that you are very much so on Snapchat in a little bit, but like that is basically like live updates and live whatever. And I have found in the past, like even whenever I've just been doing like daily vlogs, that it's really hard to kind of protect yourself from saying what is going on in your life, because there's a level of wanting to say exactly what's going on, or if you went on a really amazing date or you've been seeing someone for a while, but there's also a sense of there is like an audience watching, and like it stresses me out. But I don't know about you, but like I have definitely encountered things where, and we are at two very different levels here, like very different levels. I have experienced things to this day where like people will not want to even go on a date with me out of fear that I will inevitably post something about someone, which, I mean, when I've gone through bad situationships, I've definitely like talked about them online. I've never
they deserve it.
Yes. And also like
don't be dumb.
I just think as well, like it's really hard just as well when you have grown up with an audience, like literally you've grown up with these people. But what I do find interesting is, do you think the conversation of boundaries has changed? Because way back when, you know, there was definitely, it was normalized to have, you know, boundaries crossed in creators. And we had creators like Jenna Marbles speaking up and being like, why are you people showing up at my fucking house? And I remember Jenna got criticism for that way back when, but you know, specifically in the new era of huge pop stars like Chappell Roan and stuff being like, respect my boundaries, and you know, I don't owe anyone their time and different things. That's a whole other conversation. But do you think that over the time, and specifically the way we are at now on YouTube, that, and just social medias in general, that you can speak more open about boundaries, or do you kind of still have a very similar opinion of it? Sorry, that was a very loaded question.
I love loaded questions. I think my boundaries, I don't really set them with the people watching. I set them within myself. So it's like, I mean, I do have some, because I have like a friend who's dealing with kidney issues right now. So it's like, they don't want their identity on the internet. So I'm like, okay, listen, you guys, no identity.
Yeah.
Like we're not talking about this person. But aside from that, I feel like it's mostly within myself to set boundaries within myself. Like if there's something that is maybe a touchy topic, don't tell the internet if I'm not healed from it, you know?
That's fair. That's fair.
So it's like, I found out like last year that my dad has cancer. I think he's good now. But I was like, God. I'm not telling anyone shit. Yeah. Like I'm not giving them any ammunition to be like, because when my grandma died, people were like, I'm happy she died. Like good. I'm happy you have to deal with this right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. You're a little weirdo. So I was like, I'm just going to, anything that is like tender, I'm like, I'm not going to tell them. Sometimes every once in a while, just to find out who like their real haters are so I can block them. Yeah. I'll like drop a fake insecurity. Like if I drop a little fake insecurity, be like, oh my God, I hate this one
You leading
thing.
them to the water.
Well, I just want to see, like, are you going to then try to use it against me? And if you try to use it against me, you're a sociopath and you shouldn't get to watch me. I am blocking you. But like,
Have you noticed in terms of like friend dynamics has been very similar as well? That like, this is me genuinely asking as a creator point of view, and this is me not mentioning any names and keeping it so broad to just talking about relationships. The same way people get really involved in relationships, have you figured that people have also done that with friendships, or has that not been your experience?
I've never had like a public friendship. I mean, I think they could be involved if you bring your drama to the internet. Yeah. Then they're going to be like, oh, I got to pick a side. Then I have to like choose, or I have to like mourn the lack of friendship that you now have. But I'm pretty like, I would never tell anybody if I had a problem with somebody. I don't even know if I tell that person at this point. Yeah. If I really value the friendship, then I'll tell them and be like, let's mend this. Like if me and my friend Milanka got into a fight, I'm like, yo, let's figure this out now, actually. I don't really want to not see you again, you know? But if it's like a friend that I don't necessarily like see as like long game, I won't even tell them. I'll just let them think that we're both too busy and we fizzled out.
Are you a fan of ghosting?
I don't ghost.
Okay.
I just stop reaching out. And then when they reach out, I'm a little busier.
I love how you phrase that as well. I'm going to start saying that instead of that I ghost, because it kind of like, it makes me sound like I'm like, I haven't done anything wrong as well. I'm going to be honest, I am a fan of ghosting. Not when it happens to me, of course, but like I have found in the past that if I have an issue with someone, obviously, like you said, there are different levels of this degree, but I have found that sometimes I find it a lot easier just to stop reaching out and see if they reach out. I think, but then again, whenever I mean ghosting, it really does boil down to the fact that like, sometimes people just don't respond if you don't reach out to them first. And I think it's a big thing as well. So would you say that that is something that you would do in some cases? Because it is for me, I'm going to be honest.
I have learned to not ghost as much with my age because I've seen how it has negatively affected. Like there's this one guy that I had like a huge crush on in high school, right? Or maybe was it right after? I don't know. It all blends. It's one age. But, and he made a similar face to my stepbrother. And I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
You are my stepbrother now. I need to stay away from you. And I just stopped responding to him.
Yeah.
And then like after like 3 weeks, he messaged me. I was like, hey, did I do something wrong? And first I was like about to type out like, yo, you made a similar face to my stepbrother. And my friend was like, Rachel, stop.
I was going to be like, Rachel, babe, I think I would have taken your phone as well. I'm going to be honest. I would have went like this. I went... and just like grabbed your phone off you. I would not have. I would turn the Wi-Fi off.
I was trying to be honest, but no, honesty is actually not always the best solution. Sometimes you should lie to save people's feelings. Like
or
when
sometimes just not immediately tell the truth.
Yeah, or like when you're breaking up with somebody and you're like, it's because I am not good at being in a relationship, not because you are literally the worst.
Okay, here's the thing. This statement of it's not me or it's not you, it's me. That has been said to me before.
Oh, they're lying to you.
I know
it's
they are.
you.
But everyone knows that is fundamentally a lie.
It's a lie.
I have been told on so many occasions. Well, actually, I've been told on one occasion where I was like, damn, where it was like, I'm just not ready for a relationship right now. Bitch, we're 3 months out and they're in a relationship right now.
Am I allowed to put my foot on this table?
I mean,
boot?
I guess so. Yeah, you're in pain right now. You're literally in pain right now.
The doctor said to elevate it.
Well, honestly, I just can't believe that you've even shown up with this. So you are a tripper in that. One thing I would say is, so because you really started in the platform a very long time ago, specifically with YouTube, how have you seen, before I move on to other social medias, YouTube has changed in terms of as a whole, but if you want to go nicher in terms of the beauty community, like please let me know, because again, you really have been one of the people that has really set the tone for the beauty community. And I also am going to hit you with another loaded question just on the basis that you said you liked them. So I have that first and how you think from then until now the YouTube community and the beauty community has changed. And also, do you believe that drama within said community has been the thing that has changed it, or do you think inevitably the community would change? You asked for a loaded question, babe, and I'm going to give you them.
And I love loaded questions because then I get to have as many answers as I want. I personally think that the community, it would have changed either way.
Okay.
I think just evolution, people would have gotten bored if it was the exact same videos. Like people will randomly be like, Rachel, I miss your old videos. No, you don't. You wouldn't watch them right now because you've grown and I've grown and we don't want that same stuff. But I think that people are a little bit less willing to dip.
Dabble.
Oh, I make you. It would have been annoying.
I feel like you were typing the word and like the translate button on like iPhone pops up. I got the word. Don't worry.
No, but it never actually pops up for me because it's like I don't even know what you're trying to spell. I'm like, damn.
It goes something of this vibe.
Yes. No, I was trying to spell homage, and I was like to my phone, homage. It's like writing like O-M-A. I don't know. It's H-O-M-A-G, like homage, but it's pronounced
Let me be honest with you, babe. I did not do very well in school. And if you were to if that was my final question, live or die, spell that, guess I'm dying.
That's me with the word, is it restaurant? Restaurant I can't do. Rotisserie.
Can you do February?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yes. Wednesday.
See?
February is my birth month.
Okay, well, that's cheating. That's like an important month.
Can you spell rotisserie if there was a gun to your head?
I would attempt and I would be shot.
I want you to try and I want to see if you get it right.
Rotisserie?
No, rotisserie, like a rotisserie chicken.
Okay, I think our accents are changing this for me as well.
Okay.
Rotisserie?
How to pronounce rotisserie in
English? In English?
No,
because it'll give you
accent though.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna assume you're like a rotisserie chicken, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna predict rotisserie. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
No, it's not.
R-O-T.
You're doing great.
No, I'm gonna be like I-S-A-R-Y, and I know that's wrong. Rotisserie.
Started from the top. I missed it.
R-O-T-I-S-A-R-Y.
You were so close. Try again. You're wrong.
Rotisserie.
No,
Wait,
a rotisserie.
rotisserie. R-O-T. Roti. I-S-I. E-A-I. Give me a lifeline
There's
here.
2 S's.
Okay, fuck off. All right, fuck off.
But like, yeah, there's a few words that even if I could not spell. Also, spell performance.
P-E-R.
Okay, well, you already got it. I thought it was P-R-E.
No, babe.
Performance.
Okay, that's the way you're saying that. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I think you're on your own with the performance one, but the rotisserie chicken one, I will give you that.
Okay, yeah.
But
thank you so much. That's all I've ever wanted.
Us just validating each other, not knowing how to
You're
spell
so talented.
damn words.
We're so good at what we do.
If this video is actually sponsored by a thesaurus and dictionary.
Is it actually?
No.
Oh, I was like, drop the contact.
No, that'd be crazy if I didn't tell you this was sponsored and I just immediately go into sponsorship.
And that happens, and that's okay. I would never judge you. You make your coin. That's all you.
That's
Do what
really
you gotta
beautiful.
do.
I appreciate the support. I'm going to be honest, babe. That means the world. Okay, wait. You said something really interesting because I'm the same as you that I am going to immediately forget what I said. So it's still in my mind and I'm going to say it.
Hold your finger up and then it gives it. Go.
It's giving it fire right now. Okay, wait. Beauty community. You think it would have ultimately changed because people would have outgrown the content. Okay? That's one thing. Do you think the community has changed much in other ways? And like, I just really believe that I do agree with you in terms of like, as an entire community, like if the content was like really repetitive and all that kind of stuff, but drama has become such an integral part of said community, really from like 2018, 2019, right? How has that been watching it change? You know what I mean? And how do you see the platform now versus really when you started?
Well, I wasn't ever really like obsessed with the whole drama taking over thing, just because even if someone tried to start drama with me, like I would never continue it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess it probably turned a few people off from trying to join because what we're putting on lipstick, like what is there to fight about, you know? But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it changed for the worse. Entertainment value wise though, probably great as a viewer to experience it.
It was great as a viewer. I'm going to be honest with you, babe.
As the creator side, like seeing the actual turmoil happen behind the scenes, like filming videos of people and then them being like having to pause for their panic attacks.
Yeah.
Like, that was hard to watch. I don't think it was fair, but I also think they did it.
Yeah.
They started it. Like, I mean, people have tried to start drama with me. You know what I do? I shut the fuck up. Leave me out of it.
You ghost.
We're too old for this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like just message me.
Yeah.
Like this could be a conversation. This doesn't have to be like with the internet as a jury, you know? But that's just me. And like, I just don't think I would handle drama well.
Yeah. I think also it's really interesting you talking about like previous videos. I've noticed that a lot, if not most, I don't know, of your old content is still on your channel. And I know that a lot of YouTubers who were uploading since that time, specifically in the beauty community, and I don't necessarily know why it's necessarily a big focus in the beauty community, but they like wipe their YouTube channels or delete it. How do you feel when you look back on old content, and how do you feel like that it is so accessible? Because again, I have like a lot of my old shit up there, but I also have a lot deleted. Have you deleted a lot? And also, what's your opinion on it like being up and existing?
I have never deleted a video. I think it was all part of my experience.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I was so proud of that video.
Yeah.
So like, why did you delete your videos?
Me?
Yeah.
Because they were cringy as fuck.
But that's okay, because you were cringy and like you want to keep, that was part of you. And you should keep it as part of you, because like how boring to like be scared of being cringy.
But, okay, there was some cringy ones, which are still up. And then there was some that was like, if I was babysitting this kid, I would have turned the computer off. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's different varying levels. Like I almost feel protective of myself in those old videos in a way, because yeah, like it's cringy and you're a dork, but like a lot of them still exist. But I don't know. I weirdly feel a level of protection towards myself where if someone commented something mean on a video now, I'd be like, all right. But I feel this level of protection that if someone makes fun of me in those videos, I'm like, damn, I was just happy and doing my own thing. You know what I mean? So I guess it's a level of like preemptively protecting like my inner self whenever I was younger. So I would say that it is. I'm not necessarily like, I'm not that fussed over being cringy, and I don't, it's not really a big deal to me in that sense, but I truly do feel a sense of protection towards me. Like if someone commented something bad, even today on a video from 2010, I'd be shattered. But if you did it on a video now, I'd be like, fair, I agree with you a little bit.
I don't know and I'd never judge you for doing anything. You do whatever brings you the most joy at whatever given moment.
Thank you.
I think at those moments where like you feel sad for your inner child when someone comments something mean, instead of like suppressing it and like throwing it away, I think the better option would be that you picture your like 2-year-old self sitting next to you, or 10-year-old or whatever age you are. You're an infant right now, so you were probably like 10. Be like, hey, it's okay. Like, I'm going to protect you. Yeah. Like, put your hands on your heart and be like, I got you. I'm never going to let anybody ever hurt you ever again. Like, I'm here. And that should be enough to like.
I think that's definitely what I need to change my perspective to about it. But yeah, I think just like thinking back on yourself and like myself, like being a dork. And again, I don't feel any shame in old content. It's literally just like singing covers and vlogs. And I'm like, oof, it was definitely a time capsule of like the editing and just being a dork. But I think that's actually a good perspective. And that's the first time anyone has ever told me that, because whenever I've ever brought this up with someone, they have always told me that they want to wipe it. They don't want it up there. They want to focus on the noise. So this is really intriguing to me and really like interesting. And I actually see your point of view more than even what I thought up until now. Maybe I was just kind of being like echoed by whoever was, I was agreeing with them, and I fully identified with that. And I truly think that, wow, you've given me something to think about with that. You've given me something to ponder. So you haven't deleted anything?
No. And like, if somebody tried to like talk shit on a video that I made in the past, I would just assume that they're like embarrassed of their own younger self who used to love that. Yeah. Maybe they lost the version of themselves that used to love my videos back in the day. And like, they're so scared to acknowledge that they're kind of just like, okay, well, I'm going to take that feeling that I have inwards and actually just throw it back outwards, because I don't feel like dealing with that right now. Yeah. But like, I think if they liked it at the time, like I would never go back to an episode of the Teletubbies and be like, what is this shit?
You go, this sucks.
This is not good. Sucks. It's like, I fucked with the Teletubbies. I really did. I really fucked with the Teletubbies.
That was like, beyond my time, babe.
You know what? Oh, really?
That was beyond my time, babe.
Right. Sorry. You're an infant. What about Barney?
Beyond my time.
I remember when I was in preschool, when you're in like preschool and you're like 3, I go to school, I meet this girl for the very first time. Her name's Sarah. We were tight in like a hate love way, like she got me suspended a few times, but like she was like, she walked up to me. Very first thing she said is like, do you like Barney? And I was like, why? She was like, only babies like Barney. So if you like Barney, you're a baby. And I was
not her like starting it as well. She went, do you like it? Yes or no, I'm going to make fun of you either way. Oh my God. It was
immediate. And my response, because I knew I had to protect myself, was no. Why would I like Barney? Barney's for babies. I loved Barney. You hear that, Aww. Sarah? Sarah? I actually did love Barney.
Sarah, honestly, go fuck yourself.
I have the confidence now to admit it, but at the time, I wasn't ready. Yeah. I loved Barney. Barney was the shit. Like, but it's okay. No, like, I love you, Barney. But
do you think that in terms of, it's really interesting. I talk with my friends about this all the time. I have in recent years really fallen in love with things that I used to really love whenever I was younger. And I think being able to like financially maybe buy things that I wanted, and by that I mean like really stupid shit, like maybe merchandise or turd shirts or something like that, like, celebrity stuff that maybe I really wanted, or toys or something like that. Like whenever I became an adult and been able to like dive into this world and I don't have to like beg my parents to buy me anything, I have really tapped into like, innocent, like I literally have a tattoo, inner child. Like I really tap into that again, and like favorite shows or favorite music and stuff. And I was speaking to my friend, there was a couple years where I stopped listening to my favorite artists from whenever I was a child. And then when I really tapped into that again, it felt so liberating. Like it felt so liberating. Has there been anything other like that in your life, or was it a one-off with Barney? And fuck you, Sarah, by the way.
No, Sarah, we're chill now.
Not with me, babe. Not with me. There's a problem here.
But I think it's very beautiful that you found your way back to those things.
Yeah.
My therapist was telling me that like, some people will literally wait until they have kids to reconnect with things that they used to love doing. So it's actually good to start doing that now. I do that with a lot of things. Like I prioritize coloring in the park at least like once every 2 months, you know?
Yeah.
Really anything that sounds fun or ever sounded fun. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a pop star and I was like, I'm going to do it.
Well, we're getting to the music because the first thing I said to Rachel was, I love your song Naive. And my friends on this trip here out with me, like we have like our speakers in the Airbnb. Oh, they all know the words as well. They all know the words as well. So ultimately it's interesting that's how you ended up. And we'll definitely talk about that because I'm really excited as well. I was literally just a fan of the music. But
how'd you find it?
How did I find it?
It's so niche.
Baby, number one, it's not niche. But number two, even if it was niche, I love niche. I love niche. But no, in terms of kind of switching to when you moved to LA, how did it feel immediately jumping to this? Because you were already really successful at YouTube at that stage, I assume, to be able to make that move. And did you move on your own or did you move with anyone?
I moved with, it was a weird situation. So I moved with my ex-boyfriend at the time, my assistant, my camera guy, my editor, and my music producer. And I was like, this is going to work. Because why wouldn't it work? Mixing business with personal life, that's like a great idea, right? Because then we can all work. Don't ever do that, ever.
First of all, that's just too many people. That's just too many people.
Well, I got like enough rooms, you know.
Okay, fair.
But like, it was like a mess. Wouldn't recommend it.
You all moved at the same time?
Yeah, and I like paid for the rent. I paid for all the food. I paid, obviously, their salaries, but like it just ended up being messy. Like there was a lot of shit talking. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to most of them like afterwards. It was like kind of a mess.
How long did that situation last for?
Honestly, probably only like 6 months before like everybody had to move out. And then I still dated my ex for a bit. We moved into a different house. Then we stopped living together because we broke up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough. So how different does like your relationship to LA look now versus then? Like, cause you've been here for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been 6 years.
That's a long time. And also I love when you kind. I love when you kind because it's so like I used to do that, and to this day, and I stopped doing it because I remember my primary 6 teacher literally stood me up in front of the class and had me count to 10, right? Or no, primary 4 had me count to 10 and I did my fingers, right? And she basically made like a big comment about like how you cannot do this and how it like makes you look so childish and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm like probably like 6 years old or something like that. So like literally whenever I count above a certain number now, you'll just see like below the table, I'll be doing this. So like there's been so much about you that has really just brought out like an inner child in me.
Like teachers really are the biggest bullies sometimes.
They can be the best in the entire world. And my mom's a teacher and I know this firsthand because she will speak about, she hated all of her teachers and they all hated her. And so she tries her best to not be that. And I think that the really nice teachers will always come from a background of trying to change their experience. But oh my God, I had the worst experiences with teachers.
Me too. I was pretty badly bullied by the students in high school.
Yeah.
But nothing hits as hard as badly as my teacher would bully me. I actually broke my ankle in high school. Mind you, didn't ever talk. Anytime I tried talking in class, somebody in the class, like this one douche guy, would be like just make fun of it, like would say it back, but like in a weird accent, and then the whole class would laugh. So I shut the fuck up when I was in class. So mind you, never spoke to anybody, ever. Imagine like the shyest kid in school walking into school with a broken ankle and your teacher being like, oh, did you do it for attention?
Ooh.
Bitch, no. I already get attention. I'm on the internet. Like,
do you think a lot stemmed from that? Like mainly everything, or would you say a huge chunk of it?
Well, I will say, never would have made a YouTube channel if I wasn't bullied.
Really?
If I had friends, I wouldn't be watching YouTube at the time. It was too niche.
Bullying works, guys. Bullying works. We need more bullying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, that's funny though. Yeah, no, my teacher, she was like raging, and I can't say that.
Yeah. But babe, when you even insinuate the word, in my mind, it's just screaming and there's just joy. I love that. But when you were going through all of that, were you ever talking about it when you were doing the videos, like filming them, or did you like completely not talk or address like what was going on in school?
Oh, No, I didn't talk about what was going on in school because I was embarrassed about it. It was like, there's so many people in school that don't like me, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
But like, mind you, it was the stupidest shit. Like when I was in 9th grade, I modeled, right? Modeled. And so like, it was my profile picture at the time was me modeling. And so like the very first time I got bullied was this one dude being like with his friend. I was just standing there like this, waiting for class. He was like, look at her. She thinks she's a model. It's like, first of all, think? No.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at the time that was like the start of bullying, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But then the other time it was like pretty bad was like I ended up being in the Wall Street Journal for like doing DIYs, which is like a newspaper.
I know that. Oh my God.
I don't know what you know. You're an infant.
Oh, please. I know that. And that's incredible.
I was very cool.
Yeah.
So my teacher brought it up in class, and then the school, like all the kids were like, oh, Rachel, you want to be in the Wall Street Journal again?
Oh my
God. And I'm like, I hope so. I really sure hope so. But yeah, no, oh my God, the bullying was so annoying. But even now, like I think the only area that I think the bullying affects me negatively is like I have really bad stage fright, right? Like whenever I think about the concept of performing in front of people, like the deepest feeling in the back of my head is like starts crying and then my eyes start tearing up because I just feel like that exact moment, like when you're going up to speak in front of the class because, you know, they have presentations and then the whole class laughing at me and like one guy like making fun of me for everything I say. Like I want to cry to the concept of it now. Like it gives me such like it like freezes me. Like I literally am like, oh my gosh. So like, that's not great.
I think as well, like specifically with, oh my God, reading out in class, again, it's so stressful to think about. And it's like, it's putting myself back in that situation. I don't know if you ever did this, but we would take turns reading like a paragraph in a book. Like we'd go around the class reading a paragraph. I would literally count how many people were in front of me. Did you do that too? Yeah. Oh my God.
So I can like practice the
things. I didn't think anyone else did that.
Yeah, I did.
There's something, there's something here with the mind.
Do you have attention deficit disorder?
There's definitely, there's something here.
Do your eyes do that thing? Like when you stop, like, are you able to stop paying attention to what I'm saying really quickly? But like, look at me while you do it. Stop paying attention. Start focusing on this over here. But still look at me.
I'm still looking at you.
I don't know how to do it. Like my eyes will, wait, I could do it. I know how to stop paying attention.
Wow, you're like locking into me.
Yeah, but look.
I can see your eyes moving a little bit.
Kind of going like that.
Here's the thing. I used to struggle to concentrate on things really, really, really badly. And there was like a time span, I think during specifically the pandemic, which was so weird because it's normally the opposite. I really just started to try locking into things because I was studying journalism at the time and I was doing these interviews and I was literally being told off for like not catching things or whatever. So I spent so long, I cannot describe it other than locking in. And also I had a friend group at the time and a big thing that people would say would be, when I'm talking to you, it just sounds like you're not taking anything in. So I really tried my best to learn eye contact, which I really struggled with. I really learned to stop, think, allow people to talk, get their opinions across, because in my mind, I would think the things, but I wouldn't wait for the right time to say it.
Oh yeah.
So it would just be this like like the loudest conversation of all time. So I would say that I have like, if I was to completely let myself like go loose, I would be the hardest person on fucking earth to talk to. But there was such a long period of time where it was like, Adam, if you don't lock in, like you're going to stop getting these journalism gigs, or we're going to hire someone who can fucking pay attention. And medication and specifically like people caring about like wanting to talk about like ADHD and stuff, even though it was only a couple years ago, coming from a really small city, it was like, you're putting that on. Literally in a small city, if I was ever to have insinuated something like that, they'd be like, you're watching too much like American TV. Like that they would literally be like, no, they do that over here, not there. So I feel that I just had to like force myself to lock in. But I think that it's so interesting because I think education can only help conversations and literally people being able to figure out why they think a certain way or why they lock in or don't lock in and stuff like that. But I wonder how your experience was in figuring out, do you say you have ADHD?
Yeah, like I'm heavily diagnosed multiple times.
What was the moment in which you like really started to be like, I want to figure this out, I want to whatever, like what was that moment, or was it leading up to it?
The thing is, I was diagnosed when I was like a kid.
Okay.
So it's like I've always known I've had ADHD. Because like, you know, when the teacher, no, you don't, because they don't do that there. The teacher, they would like take you out of class and then bring you to another area and then make you like, I don't remember what they would have me do. Like we would literally just be like making bracelets and stuff. I don't really remember that much of it, but like.
So make the friendship bracelets.
No, I mean, I loved it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was so much fun. But yeah, so I've had ADHD, so I've known for a while how to navigate it. Mm-hmm. But the only instances that it's like rough is when it's something I don't care about.
Yeah.
Like when it's school and it's like a subject that I just could care less about, then that's where it's hard. If it's something I'm interested in, I will hyper fixate on it. Like I will, like when I was editing YouTube videos, like I could edit for like 23 hours straight and like look at the clock and be like, oh my God, it's been more than an hour and a half. Oh, it's been 23 hours.
Yeah.
Like, and I would never know because like time isn't real when I'm like focused.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually only had good experiences with ADHD outside of like school, but even school, like I still did well. I just had to like really struggle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that you also hyperfixate on things because that is one of my biggest strengths and also weaknesses that every single person in my life will talk about. They will say that I hyperfixate on interests, on YouTube, on relationships, and hearing someone else talk about like hyperfixating on things is so validating. And I cannot tell you, like growing up in a place where specifically like mental health in any way as well, it was like, please, that's what they do in America. We're not in the movies. And luckily in the last couple of years, it's changed, ironically, whenever I left. So thanks, guys. But like hearing someone open up about this is so validating. It's so validating. And again, I don't know what's going on up there. I still haven't figured it out on the basis of it was never accessible where I lived to even... You know what I mean? Like it was never a thing. And the only way it would have been a thing is if you were diagnosed when you were a child. And this is so strange because I had this conversation with one of my friends who's a teacher out in Ireland. And she was talking about the fact that there are so many kids in her class that she believes have ADHD. And when she has brought it up to the teachers in terms of like, you know, we should look into this, blah, 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 you know, because these kids are getting in trouble to do with this. The teachers in the school districts are immediately being like, all right, we'll test them for autism and we'll leave it at that. Like,
I mean, you'll figure out if someone has ADHD in an autism test.
But you will not believe how many people will generalize autism and will not look into it. And it'll be a yes or no. And I'm like, how is that a yes or no question? So it has been so validating. The more people I meet, the more experiences I have to be like, wow, it's not normal to just immediately shut down diagnosing someone or whatever like that. And there's been such a stigma about diagnosing people in general, specifically from where I grew up. Thankfully, it's changed. But I wonder how that has kind of affected me, you know, growing up and stuff like that. But for you, have you found overall in terms of what you do in your line of work that it has like benefited at times, made it negative at times? Like from knowing it as a child, how do you feel specifically in terms of content creation? Like you're your sole person. I think this concept of you being your job, you know, you don't upload much on YouTube anymore. You know, you are mainly on Snapchat and that is you. You are the brand. You are the person, you are the job. And I think that in a way that can be so different than if you're going into an office job where you can fixate on a work task or whatever. Like, do you find yourself tapping in and out of like fixating on yourself as a person or whatever? Because I've spoken to people where they struggle with the idea of they are the entire thing rather than a piece of paperwork to focus on. Like, what is your take on that?
I mean, it's tricky for me because as much as it technically speaking is a job, like social media never felt like a job. I mean, it feels like a job in the sense that like I know that I want to get certain things done at the end of the day, but in terms of actually creating content, like I would never feel like it's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like a job, like filming everything I do throughout the day. Yeah. It just kind of is part of my routine. And I feel like once something's part of my routine, then it's like built in and then that's easy. The only time it's hard is like when there's something I don't want to do at all, but I've never not wanted to do social media. It'll be the things that are like tedious tasks or like, I can't think of an example. I can't think of a specific example right now just because I don't want to start drama with anybody. Yeah. But no, I haven't like necessarily had any negative experiences, because I don't look at it as like a brand or a job. I just happen to be, and some of the things happen to make money, but like it's like a side effect of it. It's not like the whole thing.
So do you feel in terms of like editing and stuff, it like has been a strength?
Yeah, super easy. Like, because if I have an idea and I'm excited about it, I can get that done. The actually biggest struggle for me was when I hired externally people to help me, because then they're not working on my timeline, and my timeline is so fast. Yeah. Because I have the idea and it's out of my head and finished and out into the world within like a day. Yeah. And other people will be like, I actually need 2 weeks to edit this video. I'm like, that's actually an insane thing, because I could edit the video in 6 hours, but that's because I can hyperfixate on it. Like some people, like they would need to take breaks like a normal person. Like breaks are healthy. It's just, I don't do them. I just want to get it done and out there. Yeah. And if I wait until it's like, if I wait like a day after the idea's in my head and then start it, I don't care about it anymore. It's like the excitement wore off. And so like the hyperfixation wore off.
I feel like that's something, oh my God, there's so much about what you've said over, like, we have been speaking that I have like, it's like my first time hearing someone say it, like truthfully, like one-on-one to you, like specifically that as well. There have been so many things in my life that I have literally just dropped because there have to be other people involved in it. And obviously it's so goddamn unrealistic and also wrong, by the way, just to like clarify that anyone should work at a level that you want to work yourself. You know what I mean? There is timelines there for a reason. There are breaks there for a reason. And if you as a person choose not to do them, don't expect someone else to, you know, do that. But again, there have been so many things that like I will work on with someone and then they have to pick up on it. And then it'll be a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, it's like ready to post or it's ready to do, whether it's an event or whether it's whatever. And I'm like, I'm over this by now. And I agree with you so much on the like, I do tend to hyperfixate on things that I really find interesting. And if things don't move at a pace in which I would literally, and I think you're kind of getting at this as well, if I'm so passionate about a project, I would kind of almost prefer to work on it entirely myself if I could get it done at my level that I'm still intrigued by it at. So I think that, God, there's so much that you said that was just completely seriously just identified with. Okay, Snapchat. So how is that different in terms of your regular routine with doing YouTube? So when did you decide to make the adjustment?
I decided to make the adjustment like, I want to say 2 years ago. And it was mainly just, I felt like this deep connection to the community on Snapchat that felt very similar to the deep connection I had with YouTube, past tense. Yeah. But it just wasn't, I didn't feel it there anymore, you know? So I kind of switched just because I really like loved the audience that was there. And the difference mostly in the routine is like with YouTube, I would have to sit down, research, figure out the videos, pre-production of the videos, like write the scripts or whatever the video was, you know, like if it was a Disney princess videos, I'd write a script for it. Although those ones I would kind of write the script the day of because the rest of the stuff kind of took so long.
And then you're excited about it because you're filming on it immediately as you're writing it. It's stressful, but I love it.
No, listen, all the princesses and I, we would like sit together in a circle and like, okay guys, spit the jokes out. Let's go. Let's figure this out. Yeah. I mean, I still mostly wrote them, but you know, if anyone helped me, I would give them a little credit of it. But, you know, I looked back at those videos because somebody posted a TikTok being like, these are the videos I used to watch. And I like saw it because people tagged me in it. Good shit. Those Disney princess videos were actually really funny.
I think as well, like there is such a concept of like, this is the content that I watched growing up. Like I was so deep in that when I think of beauty community now, I think of like the drama. But whenever I think of like creators that I watched growing up specifically in that, like the names that come to my mind are like you, Bethany Moda, Alicia Marie. Like there's just like names of creators that like would pop up over and over again. And it's interesting specifically like with what you're saying that like videos haven't aged worse in terms of like content in terms of skits changes year by year in terms of like Disney, like, and again, I know you are very much so you don't tap into like cringe and I respect that, but I'm always so aware of like what I'm putting out in the moment and like how I feel it's going to age in terms of like, will I still find this funny in a year or whatever? Those videos from that timeline, they've like aged really well as well.
No, they're really funny, but also current you is still funny, and you need to like delete the part of you that cringes. It's gonna hold you back.
I mean, listen, it's something I'm working with. Again, I've only been doing YouTube like really a couple of years. So it's something that I'll definitely like work towards. And I think like hearing your perspective of it has really inspired me. What I was going to say in terms of, so like doing skit videos and stuff, does it feel different now when you do social media? And I know you don't look at it as a job, but when you do it just as a passion project or you're just doing it as a thing, the type of content that's different on Snapchat, do you find it more fast-paced, less fast-paced? Do you find it the same as YouTube? Like, how have you changed in that retrospect?
It's so tricky because with YouTube, it would come with all this planning and then hiring actors and then filming it and then editing it and then the thumbnail. Whereas Snapchat's just the filming it part. Mm-hmm. There's not really any other things to it besides my day.
Yeah. I
don't really need to be tapping into the creative side of me for Snapchat.
Yeah.
I just kind of go about my day, and whatever ends up showing up shows up, and whatever doesn't. But like, I do feel like a lot of my day now is determined by the people on Snapchat, though, if that makes sense, because they have so many good suggestions. Like, they'll be like, you should do this today. I'm like, I would never think to do that today.
So I'm genuinely curious on this. How does all that work? Because again, I've only recently found out that like creators have been posting at the same level as YouTube on Snapchat. How do you see responses? Because obviously we know how a YouTube comment section works. We know how a TikTok section works. In terms of Snapchat, is it like little pop-up bubbles, or like is it because you're posting it and it's like the feature creator section, right? Because I always see fucking David Dobrik over there. Like I can't fucking escape him.
Oh no.
Do you get like responses by people in lifetime, or do they have to be like subscribed to a page or just follow you in general?
I'm trying to find it to show you. So there will be like, for example, my skin has been breaking out like crazy and I don't know why. Cannot figure it out. So I like posted a question being like, guys, what did you do to fix it? And like, this is how the comments will be. But you can just like.
Oh my God. Wow.
So it shows up in one spot.
Wow. Okay, so it's literally like a live feed comment section.
It looks like that, but it's not to that scale.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. It depends on what live stream it is.
Wow.
But
there you go.
No, it's very. I mean, I love Snapchat. Like, you can really just respond to anything in real time. You could do anything in real time. The only adjustment that I've had to make, because I had a stalker, have a stalker. Mm-hmm. I have another stalker, but he's in jail, but he goes out soon.
God.
But so because of the stalker, sometimes when I go places, I won't post until I've left.
Okay, that's
just
smart.
To be safe.
That's smart.
And so that's taking me out of the real timeness of it sometimes. But like, just for the sake of not having a stalker show up places, like, I think my preferred method is to.
I think that's very clever, and that makes me happy that you are aware of that as well.
I have no choice.
I was about to say that's really unfortunate. I'm not going to touch on that. But what I will say as well is I have one final question before I want to talk about music. And the question is, there have been like a couple videos you've made here and there, and specifically one where you were kind of talking about like going into these like beauty treatment centers, and I think the video was about like sun damage and stuff like that. I really want to know, you living in LA for as long as you have, and also being involved in a community like the beauty community that is so looks oriented. How is it like growing up? Like, these are such fundamental years where these are the things that are so common out here. Like being very aware of sun damage, which is great. You know, being like, there are companies reaching out and being like, we're going to do fillers for free. We're going to do Botox for free. We're going to dye your hair for free. We're going to change your entire wardrobe. We're going to, like, during your fundamental years of like really figuring yourself out, which is quite honestly the hardest years and currently in them. I cannot imagine being in LA with that, because I live in Brighton right now, which is like it's like down from London, and it's the furthest on the UK you can go. And so I'm like an hour away from London. And again, companies will reach out from London and it will be free filler, free whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, you were reaching out to me whenever I was 18 years old, motherfucker. And so I can't imagine, because I do believe that it's at its biggest in LA. I feel like it's very much so, as we know, like looks oriented. How was that like? My question is, in those fundamental years, being in an industry that is literally about beauty and that being like pushed in a sense, did you feel pushed by it or no?
I think as somebody that grew up looking pretty like regular, you know, like I was never as a kid told how beautiful I was. And I think that isn't a bad thing. I think I just never thought about looks. Like at no point did I ever think I was someone that was going to get views from just like having a pretty face. Like there's some YouTubers that like, they're so beautiful. I mean, no, I think I'm beautiful too, but I'm saying like they're just so like stereotypically like beautiful, not stereotypically, uniquely beautiful. Yeah. But you know, like they are like,
I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
So pretty that like when you look at them, you just want to look at them for longer. Yeah. And like I don't have one of those faces, not in a bad way. It's just because of that, I never really attached much self-worth to the way I looked. Okay. Like I didn't have a bunch of people being like, oh my gosh, look at you, you're so pretty, I wish I looked like you, which is again I think a good thing because I didn't establish my self-worth over how I look. But I think I just over exaggerate. Well, just I don't know how to word it. I just was always personality first and then look second. I did have a stylist that styled me, but now I'm like kind of discovering what my style is. And I actually would love to go way more intense than I go. Yeah. I just don't know where to find the clothes. Yeah. Like where do I find the weird, like I want to look like I'm in a video game. Like
I need people to give suggestions down below because I'm currently looking for that too.
Yeah, right? Like imagine looking like a video game character. Like a little bit like just like.
Have you been to Queen of Melrose store?
No, what is that?
Cosmo. No. You might know Cosmo by the looks, but she has a store here on Melrose, and it's Queen of Melrose or something like that, and it is exactly what you're talking about.
What's it called?
And I will give you the exact location. There are 3 stores. It's like Queen of Melrose, Cosmo's Boutique or something like that. I will send you all the information about it. It is exactly what I think you're getting at, and I think that you will really, really, really enjoy it. Okay. I think that is honestly like one of the most beautiful answers I think I could have ever gotten in terms of that as well. And I'm really happy that seemingly was not necessarily a hyperfixation, if you guess, because, you know, it can be.
Of course. I mean, I think another thing that like 2 things, okay, I'll present to you 2 stories that kind of also helped me establish that. Because, you know, when there are those moments of insecurities, for one, the very first time I decided to stop caring what people thought about me and the way I looked and who I was or whatever, was like, I was with a guy. He was looking at my butt cheek, right? Great butt cheek. No. It was consensual.
Okay. Then I'm going to smile.
Yeah, no issues. He was looking at my butt cheek and he was like, you should really get rid of your stretch marks because it's not fair that I have to look at them. And I was like, well, I can't. I've tried because I did try. I started getting stretch marks in my butt when I was in 6th grade, right? So from 6th grade until like I was with that guy, I literally was like trying to remove these stretch marks. Yeah. And I was like, they're not removable. So then he was like, well, you could because celebrity A and celebrity B got rid of their stretch marks. And I was like, well, I can't. And then we just sat in silence for 10 minutes. But during those 10 minutes, I was like, I genuinely know for a fact at the time and the technologies that were around at that time, that I cannot get rid of my stretch marks. They are not removable. So why would I let this person who has never tried as hard as I have to remove these stretch marks determine how I feel about the possibility of removing stretch marks? Why would I let this person make me feel any type of way about my stretch marks? Then I was like, in that moment, like, why would I actually let anybody make me feel any type of way about myself when they have no idea the things that it took for me to get to this point? Yeah. So then like in that very moment, I'm grateful he talked shit about my stretch marks because I never cared about what another person thought of me ever again after that. And then back to what I thought of me though, there was one time I was like looking in the mirror and like, you know, when you just like are having a bad looking day, right? Yeah. Just like everything.
And they do exist, by the way. Like I truly do believe that they do exist.
They exist. They for sure. I mean, especially for girls, I think, because it's based on your cycles, right? At least that's what I'm telling myself. I did no research on this. Don't quote me on a single thing. But like I was like looking in the mirror and I was crying because I was like, I feel ugly. And then my dog, Neo, is like running around. I could hear his pitter patter, runs in the room, looks at me, like goes like this and starts wagging his tail because he saw me. And I was like, Neo would never love me more or less based on how I look. So why am I loving myself less based on how I look? Because no one else that loves you would ever change the way they love you because you have a bad hair day or because you have a love handle or a stretch mark or like a beard hair, you know, like that would never exist. I've never seen my friend and only gotten excited because she had abs. No, I got excited because it's her tummy that I'm seeing. I got excited because I see her hair like in the crowd and I know it's her.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited about seeing that friend. I don't give a shit if her hair looks good or her hair looks bad. So it's like, I think at that moment when my dog was so excited to see me, I was like, I need to stop loving myself only under conditions.
Yeah. And I think as well, like, it's actually, again, this is another moment where I'm like, what is going on here? There was a moment where I was going through it and my friend Neve actually came over to my apartment, and it's so funny because I'd filmed with Neve a couple days ago and we'd actually made reference to this. I'm like, you've hacked into my iCloud because there's a lot of topics that you're bringing up that literally were about that. But we were talking about this concept of, I was really going through something at the time and I was really blowing it up in my head. And I'd really kind of persuaded myself that like, everyone fucking hates me. And there's something going on in my life. There was stuff going on online. And so when you're having like a YouTube community against you and like you're in real life, it's like not a good situation. So my friend Neve comes over to my apartment and she opens the door and I'm sitting and my 2 dogs are there. And she literally, she's talking to me for ages. And she goes, the entire time that you've been talking to me about all this and all these people's feelings and stuff, she was like, those dogs have not taken their fucking eyes off you.
Aww.
So it's so similar to that where it's like, it changes your perspective of it. And wow, thank you for bringing that up because it has completely reminded me of that situation. And I can't wait to go home and see them. But it really is, you can find it. You can find it in that. And I'm really glad that you didn't feel any pressure by it. And also that story is something. So again, not to kind of take it to breaking the fourth wall here, but like a lot of people will always want advice or something like that. And obviously I have very little to give. That is such a big thing when it comes to, even if you don't have an animal, like how excited a random fucking dog could be to see you in the street. What their immediate thought is, wow, they look so bad today. You know what I mean? So it's really, I'll leave it there, but I do want to finish on talking about music. So you have a song that came out literally like last week. It's I Don't Want a Boyfriend, right?
A DWABF.
I didn't know if I was going to call it that because it's literally spelled with the letters or the full title. I just full titled it. I have already said to you that I love Naive. That was actually, I can't remember what year it was, but it was in my, you've like this website, statsforspotify.fm or something like that, and it will do your 100 songs of the year.
Oh,
that song was on it.
Really?
That song was on it.
That's so cute. Who hurt you?
Many people. But I really love that. And I was really excited to talk to you about music. So what was the moment that you really started to think about it? When did it come about? Who did you reach out to? You want loaded questions. I'm going to give you them. I want to know the start of that.
Of me with music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it all started when I was 3 years old and I refused to go to sleep without singing a song on karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got older and Hilary Duff showed up, I refused to go to sleep without singing a Hilary Duff song. It actually was very annoying to my dad. I was like, you need to perform, Dad. You need to perform with me or the backup dancer. We're performing this Hilary Duff thing.
I need you to be diva before I can sleep, actually.
No, I needed to get my energy out. So like I have always loved singing. When High School Musical came out, like I loved singing like Gabriella, and I just honestly have always loved singing before social media.
Yeah.
And I would like keep my ability to sing a secret. Mainly because in my head, I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm never going to mention it. And then I'm just going to drop a song and everyone's going to be so shocked. And they were, but like, I think I waited a little bit too long to release a song.
Okay.
Because I was like working on music since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But I just never really liked the songs that I was making. I loved the way my voice sounded. I was like such a cute noise. But like the songwriters I was working with like weren't really listening to what I was saying, and they were kind of giving me like teeny bopper songs, which is great when my followers were 12. We've aged now. We're not 12 anymore. Yeah. So it's like I just didn't quite like the songs. So like the only time it ended up working out was when I was able to write them. And so once I was able to write the songs and like kind of establish how I wanted it to sound without another, I work with a songwriter right now. Her name's Rachel West. We'll usually like, I'll come in with the words and the melody, but sometimes I'll be like, I have no melody ideas for this verse, or like this verse I have no ideas for, and she'll like come in and we'll collaborate off of that. So like now I have like a perfect team for creating the songs where like I don't feel any judgment. But for the longest time it'd be like I'd tell a producer like, oh, I don't really know if I love the sound of that like drum, but really like for some reason I have this issue where if I don't like a sound, it hurts my brain. Like it literally feels like someone's scratching nails against a chalkboard. So like I would then be like, can you change this? And he'd be like, no, I like it. I'm like, damn. We got another producer that doesn't want to do that. And then there was other producers I would work with that would just be really, really creepy. And then I'd later find out that they did creepy things. So I won't go into the room with a male producer without having somebody there, except for my current producer, Nico, who I know is not creepy.
Yeah.
So I finally, after like years, figured out the best methods of like the style of music I want to do. But it took so many years of unreleased songs to figure out the type of music that I wanted to make. And even I'm still evolving, like I'm still learning. Although I do still think that I'm going to do like Sad Girl Winter and then Confident Girl rest of the year.
I love the sad girl music. I love the sad girl music.
No, it's coming in 3 months.
Wait, so this is what I'm saying. So you released this song on the 20th of September. I know that, right?
Yes.
So what is the overall like plan? Do you have a plan? Do you keep track? What can you tell me?
Like plans in terms of releasing
in terms of music,
other
releasing,
songs?
everything.
So my current plan is to figure out how to get the song out there, because I currently stopped working with everyone on my music team because we just weren't clicking necessarily, you know, like it and that's fine.
Yeah.
But so now I'm like trying to determine like what is the best route to go about and like how much involvement should I have with like my followers with the songs, because sometimes I'll like record a song and then it'll get stuck in their heads, but like it's not being released for like 3 months and they're like, no. So I'm trying to be like quiet and not anytime I have a song idea be like, hey guys, here's my song idea, because then they're annoyed. Rightfully so, because like if I have a song stuck in my head, don't tease. It's messed up. Only teased 2 weeks before. But so my plan right now, because it took so long for me to release this song, because again, I had a lot of reworking within my team. And now I'm solo and can do whatever I want. I will release maybe 2 more. It depends how long it takes. Maybe between 1 to 2 more Happy Girl songs.
Yes.
And then I'm going to switch back to Sad Girl Winter. But I already wrote my Sad Girl Winter songs and they're so sad.
Are you planning on doing like a little EP album? What are we feeling? Or just releasing singles?
I'm going to release singles until I have a story that I want to tell.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think I want to wait a second until I like do an album or an EP.
Yeah.
But I probably will eventually start doing like just a Sad Girl Winter album as opposed to like releasing singles. But I think for now, like it's so exciting to do singles. Like I love doing little activities with everybody. Like what I did for this song was I was like, everybody send me your Venmo. I'm buying you flowers, and like Venmoed them money to buy themselves flowers, because I was like, we don't want a boyfriend.
That's so cute.
We're getting ourselves flowers.
Yeah.
So I want to think of more activities, but I would love to get people together in the activities. Like maybe we do a karaoke together, or like a cooking class, or like color in the park. I just can't quite figure out how to make sure we don't get murdered. Like I don't quite know.
That is quite important, babe.
Yeah, like I want to make sure that it's done safely, because you never know who's gonna show up.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure it's done in a way where like I know for a fact who's gonna show up, and like nobody gets that location, and just like make it as safe as possible.
Yeah.
But until then, I don't really want to involve people in real life yet.
Well, okay. Here's a question I have, like speaking to you as an artist. So obviously I Don't Want a Boyfriend comes out, honestly, like a week ago. So for me, I love the new one. I love Naive. I love Without Due Respect. For you, from what you have released currently, is there like, obviously I know you're going to say the one you have just released, but is there like standout ones that like you're like just so proud of? Like how do you, like what ones do you like really identify with where you like play it and you're like so proud to play it? Because I think that there's something so beautiful about when someone works on something and when someone's really excited about something and proud of it. So what is that for you?
Okay, so if I were to order my songs from least to favorite, my most favorite is probably I'm Here, which I don't know if you found, because I accidentally deleted it off of Spotify and re-uploaded it.
Damn.
It's uploaded. It's just a little harder to find now. I like deleted 1 million streams by accident.
No,
it's okay though. It's okay because it's okay. It's just a number. But like, so the song is back up.
And the people still enjoyed it.
And it's still up. It's just a new upload now. But so I'm Here. I love my song My Way. Still think it's a banger. Don't think it got the recognition it deserves yet. Such a good song. Then probably Naive. Then probably Crumbs. Crumbs is a good one. Great song, Crumbs, banger. And then I have Without Due Respect is my least favorite one.
Really?
Favorite cover art, least favorite song.
Damn,
it doesn't
I love
feel
that song.
finished. Like it doesn't feel like I ever finished the song.
Damn, I really love that song. That's unfortunate to hear, actually.
No, I think it just needs like a good remix. Like if I had a DJ remix it, like the words are cool. Like I think Without Due Respect is really funny.
Yeah.
And the only reason I came up with that song actually is because I saw a TikTok comment of somebody. Oh no, that was a different song. Which song was that? I don't remember. I'll figure it out. But somebody wrote like such an aggressive hater comment that I was responding back to it. I don't respond back to hater comments anymore, mainly because I just don't see them.
Yeah, fair.
I don't see them. I like if I start noticing it's a hater comment, like I just skip it.
Yeah.
Like I won't even like acknowledge it. Like you don't really get my time. You know, I'm rather spend my time on the people that are just good humans.
Yeah.
But someone at that time wrote such an aggressive hater comment that I was like responding back because I felt like I needed to prove something back.
Yeah.
Right. I worked in with my therapist since I don't have, but, and I wrote like, with all due respect, blah, 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 blah. And then I went back to the top and I was looking at with all due respect and I was like, backspace.
Yeah.
Without due respect.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So
I think there's something that I find so fascinating about your career because coming from the YouTube background, the story of why you started, and also, you know, moving from Philly to LA, I think through different facets that you have like ventured in, and I just think ultimately like being on a different platform as well than the original one you started with is like, it's just so exciting. And I think the fact that you're just really excited about the music and that the music's good and that people like it, it's just like, it's so great. I love, number one, when people are passionate about whatever they are passionate about. I think it's one of the most beautiful things to hear, but also I just like the music, you know what I mean, as well. And so I'm going to leave it there, but I really, really, really appreciate you coming on. And I've been doing this to everyone, and it sounds so stupid making you do this, but if you look into this camera and you say where everyone can find you, and again, it feels so stupid.
Find me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Not in person. We don't need another one of them.
Yeah, they can't.
Again, it feels stupid me asking you to do that, but please just hear me out. I've been asking everyone to do it. So
it's actually not stupid. Who hurt you?
Many people, again, we'll circle back to that.
Okay,
Many people.
yeah.
All right, let them know where you can find you.
You can find me, if you want my music, RclBeauty101 on Spotify. If you want my social media, RclBeauty101 on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. But like those are old videos you're going to find. You're not going to find any new ones. I think that's everything.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here.
Thanks for
Thank you so much,
me.
injury and all. The diva with the diva bit. I really, really, really appreciate you being here.
Put it in the screen.
Oh my god, the bedazzle is perfect.
It looks good.
I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And everyone, everything will be linked down below. I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you very soon. And goodbye.